Hello, everybody. This is Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com coming to you with the March 26th report. Now, I don't want to sound too happy or anything, but I want to tell you I am very feeling much better. After that last hour reversal yesterday, me and Market both, Chris May, both talked about how we both think it's the most bullish action we've seen during the entire uptrend. And we even put that over the NASDAQ moving up 7% that day, moving up 3.97% that day, 4% that day, and then 6.76 that day. All of those rallies, none of them were exciting to me, or none of them made me happier than what happened yesterday. Intraday, before the last hour, the market was selling off, getting to near its lows on some indexes and hitting lows in other indexes, when all of a sudden it just turned around, not in the last hour, like in the last 30 minutes. And in the last 30 minutes, it started rally. However, in the last 5 minutes, I don't know if it's 10 or 5 minutes. You guys are going to have to check your intraday charts because I was watching it as it was happening on TV and my other sites. I do not keep my Interactive Brokers, MB Trading, Scott Trade, Zecco, or any other platform. I do not keep it open whenever it's market hours because I am tempted to go buy things or sell things that I would never do if I was only looking at my end of day pattern. So it was very good to see that happen at the very end of the day. And I told Market and I told everybody actually in the chat room and in the forums that that's the most bullish action I've seen of the index during this entire uptrend, that I was now feeling that the rally could last. And today, I got my wish. 3.80% gain on the NASDAQ. And the volume yesterday on the reversal was bullish at the end, but it was a very big volume day. I did not expect for us to have an up 3.8% day on higher volume today. Yet we have, and I am very happy. Way to go, market. I don't know what's going on, and I don't care, but for the first time, let's go back out here, since August 07, whenever I had many canceling stocks setting up and still working, and even had, let's hope APPY shows up here. Look at APPY. Notice the breakout here, and then it moved up. You got your 141% gain. So that was the last one that was really exciting. Now, we did have a little rally attempt, which I saw somebody in the forums mention, from March to May. But what you don't understand is that from March to May, our best stock was PDO, and that gain from the time that we loaded up to the top was only 96%. And besides that, the only other nice one was DGLY. DGLY's breakout attempt and run during that time was only 50%. Yeah, right around 50%. So it was very weak. So it's been a long time since the market's had such a nice run where nice charts have actually shown up. Now, leading stocks have been lagging the entire time. Let's go over here, go to weekly. I shouldn't be showing anybody this, but let's go ahead and do this. Markets, IBD indexes, IBD 100 index. Look at it today. That's a huge gain. That's over 4%. It's well over 4%, almost a 5% gain. That is amazing. So I got to look at it closely to make sure how much it is. However, yesterday I noticed that for the first time, leading stocks started to look great. Like I had a perfect speculator scan that extended to 80 stocks, and then today I have an up 12 of the last 15 days. It's got 225 stocks in it. That's the most stocks I've seen in any scan since 2007. Not only that, my perfect speculator scan has 98 stocks in it tonight. And my 100K scan has 27 stocks, and my 10K scan has 16 stocks. Folks, I haven't even looked at them yet. All I know is that what I'm looking at right here on the IBD 100 is very bullish. What I'm looking at right here on the IBD 8585, let's see if that's bullish too. Absolutely. Had a very bullish session. 3.4 would be 2%. So, wow, it had almost another 4% gain. So both the big market indexes were up 4%. The IBD leading indexes, while the NASDAQ was only up 3.8%. So for the first time since the rally attempt has started, leading stocks are now leading the market. That's been the problem before. Before, when the NASDAQ was up 6.7%, or whenever the NASDAQ was up over here 7.07%, the IBD 100 was up like 1.5%, and once again, it was up like 1.5% again on the day where it gained 6.76%. So obviously, the IBD 100 and IBD 8585 with leading stocks that are make the huge gains in bull markets, when we're in real bull markets, they weren't showing up. The last 2 days, when the rally attempt was happening early on yesterday, they were not showing up. They just were not showing up. And then as they started to sell down yesterday, leading stocks that were the ones that were leading, or lagging stocks that were the ones leading, like banks and real estate early in the session, they were doing worse than the sell-off that was happening in leading stocks. Whenever that last hour turn came, and especially the last 10 to 5 minutes when it exploded to the upside, leading stocks took the reign during that time. Investors Business Daily even let us know about that because they even made mention of it. And if they made mention of it, and if I noticed it, something good is happening. And today, once again, I'm looking at my other computer right now, and I'm looking at a beautiful chart right now. When's the last time you've heard me say that? I mean, I'm talking beautiful. Like the other beautiful charts that we had, like ANSI, which was ANCI, which was XSI, they weren't looking nearly as good as this chart that I'm looking at over to my right now. So hopefully we're going to have a rally attempt that lasts. I really hope. So now you got the Nasdaq's up 3.8% higher volume, definitely bullish. If you'll notice also, these three big volume bars, the one where the Nasdaq's up 1.99% and the one where it's up 0.82% and 3.8%, all are accumulation days to me, big time, and then also just great days. Notice the volume bars of those 3 days. They're bigger than any of the volume bars on the downtrend. When the rally started, the volume bars were below average 2 of the first 5 days. And then of the 3 big up days, one was well below average of the rest of the up days, and then the other 2 big days were still below the biggest days during the downtrend. So volume's really changed hands now, and I'm very happy about that. See, moving on, NYSE, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. NYSE up 2.02% today. Notice it wasn't a huge move. Notice volume is higher, so it's another accumulation day. Volume still is not higher than the volume on the downtrend, but still, there's a lot more big green bars in there than red bars. Let's see on a weekly. Yeah, so the big red bar here is coming with a little bit of a tail. Let's go all the way out. You can see an itty-bitty tail. And since then, the rally weeks, 3 of those weeks of the rally have been on heavier volume. So definitely things look better now than any other rally attempt that we've had. But the most key sign is leading stocks. NYSE is up 2.02%, yet leading stocks are up 4%. On the day that the NASDAQ was up 7%, the NYSE was up 7.32%. But yet I think the best IBD index was up 1.5%, or maybe it was 3% that day, and then here it was only 1.5% was the best when it was up 6%, and then 0.8 or 0.5 was the other one, and then also here 1.5 or 3 even if it was 3 that day, because I can't remember, right, let's just go look really quick down here. Oh, it would have been only 1.5 here, it would have been 3. Nope. Wow. So it's only going to be 1.5, and that's the IBD 85.85. I show you the IBD 100. That's the one that moved the most. That was a 3% move that day. So it only got 3% whenever it's got 7.32%. So now, finally, for the first time, a nice 2% gain, but the IBD leading indexes are up 4%. Very, very good news, and I'm very, very happy. Let's go look at the S&P 600. Up 4.5%, leading the charge. However, I do believe if I look, IBD 100 and IBD 85.85 could be up almost 5%. So they still might be up more. If not, they're still up 4% with the S&P 600 up 4%, all beating the NASDAQ today, up a very healthy 3.8%. And then NYSE only up 2%. Very happy. Dow Jones Industrial Average had lower volume today, but it doesn't matter. DJIA is our worst index that we look at. It was up 2.25%, but it's had the big volume since the uptrend started. And while it didn't look like it was real because the leading stocks weren't leading, the last 2 days, they are leading. And that tells us that we have to get bullish, even if I think that Obama's policies are going to wreck us. But hopefully what the market's saying now is that Congress is wising up. And hopefully the party on the left realizes that the man in the White House is a hardcore socialist. And they decide that, hey, we don't want to be socialists because people don't like socialism. And so hopefully things go right in the end here. But we'll see. Let's go look at oil. How did oil do today? Down 3.39%. Wow. And the market was up. Pretty awesome, I got to admit. $51 it closes at. I'll take that. It's in between the 35 to 50 range. Hopefully, I said it would stay in. Then we're going to have platinum. Let's look at platinum. Platinum had an up day, was up much bigger, though, at the 1 point intraday, up to 1160. Still closed at 1142. Has an open body. I like that. Let's look at silver. Silver opened at 1351, the low of the day. Got all the way up to 1375. Closed at 1361. Still an open body bar. Then there's gold. Let's go all the way out there. Oh, it is. Opened at 934.90, closed at 934.40, lost 50 cents on the day, down 0.15%. But gold didn't crash, which tells me that our market rally might be part, hopefully to God, we're not going to become socialist, because socialism leads to a lot of bad, hard times. If you don't believe me, study USSR. You don't believe me right now? Study Cuba's living conditions right now. Study the former Republic of Burma's living conditions right now. Look at North Korea. You think communism works? You think socialism works? Why is England telling us, don't do what you're doing? Don't be that. That's way socialist. Socialists are telling us not to become socialist. It's nuts out there, folks. However, we have a little bit of sanity in that the market's rallying. I'm happy. Is the dollar holding up? Please, God, say it is. It is. Awesome. That's what I like to see. Hold above the 200-day moving average. I'm going to go and wrap this up. There will be a part 2 and a part 3 for subscribers. Good times are coming, guys. Got a lot of nice charts to show you. Aloha.